stepping, I'm a rockstar and Ramones. House dilemma, cribbo, got too many rooms. Swish, I got shooters in the field, they running zones. When I swish, make some shake for me, stop playing. On stepping, I'm a rockstar and Ramones.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as Pick Management, back here with my guy Cam for the Play-In Tournament Conference Finals episode of the NBA Betting Insiders. We just smashed the East Play-In Tournament. We went 9-1 combined. Your boy right here swept. Cam just missed the sweep by a foot on the line. So it was a great night for us. We really killed it, and we are looking to repeat that performance in the Conference Play-In Tournament Finals. Before we get started, I got to tell you guys about a couple of apps you got to check out. First one is the Juice Reel app. The link is below. It's free to sign up, free to use, and it automatically syncs with your sportsbook and provides you insights and analytics into how you wager so you can become a better bettor. At one point this season, it actually shows you like the teams that you're good at betting on. So you can keep betting on those teams if you have a trend that, follow your own trends. At one point, I was 17-0 on Vancouver Canucks picks this year. So, something really cool to check out on Juice Reel. They have all sorts of great tools. You can sell a subscription service through there. You can buy a subscription service through there. Whatever you guys need. If you're looking to take the next step in your betting career, Juice Reel is the place for you. And the other thing is the Rhythm app. Rhythm is totally free to use. You can check out their AI models that just smashed the March Madness tournament, predicting every single NC State upset and their loss against Purdue. Plus, they just killed it in the Masters this past weekend. And they teach you how to build sports betting models. They teach you everything you know from A to Z. Most people don't even know where to start when coming up with a sports betting model, but Rhythm does everything that you need for you. And my Rhythm model has been smashing. Hello, I just went 5-0 in the NBA. So make sure you check out Rhythm. The link is below. Like I said, it's free to sign up. Both of those are two tools every bettor needs in their betting toolbox. But Cam, buddy, great job. 5-1, way to smash it. Looking forward to a repeat performance. Are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, 100%. I think that Chicago game was pretty easy for us to assess with them playing enough this year and just really feeling like that was the one game I thought everybody should definitely target to definitely, cash a couple of props and for the full game as well.
I got to tell you, I fucking nailed that call on how I predicted that Philly Heat game to go. I don't know if you remember. If you go back, I might have to pull it up and go and edit it back in so people
can watch. And it's by the spread. It's by the spread. And I lost because I took Philly -1.5. So yeah, that's how I lost the ticket.
I took that Philly money line and I took the Heat with the points. And I said that they were going to hit the over. I hit all of it. You know what I mean? So I knew that game was going to come right down to the freaking wire. And it did. And I'm got to toot my own horn a little bit, beep, beep. But yeah, we're going to hopefully do that again today. Sure. So, but wait. I want to talk to you about something before we get into that. So there's been some big news in the NBA with Dejounte Murray getting a lifetime ban for gambling. I mean, serious offense, caught red-handed, had a VIP FanDuel account, which is just ridiculous to have that yourself. He was also betting through people. He was betting on his own team. He was betting on his team to lose. What they were doing was more so they could get down on bigger wagers. You can usually get down bigger on live betting. So they were like putting in player props for him to go under because they knew he was going to leave the game early, and they put like 80 grand down on an in-game player prop parlay and hit for like $1 million. That's gonna have all sorts of eyeballs on it. Like you're an idiot for doing that. They said he was betting about $2 million a month on everything from Korean baseball to random European soccer leagues. I mean, he was doing it all. The other thing he has an anonymous social media account and Discord server that he gives out stock trades on, which is something else that is crazy about this story, that he makes a ton of money doing that in crypto. So yeah, weird story, weird guy, lifetime ban. If you don't know his, I'm sorry, Dejounte Porter is his name. Yeah, Dejounte Porter, not Dejounte Murray. Dejounte Porter, because his brother, Michael Porter Jr., is a really good basketball player, someone everyone knows, and people are starting to say that he got his startup money for this gambling and stock trading from his brother because his brother's got the big contract. So that's another part of this that they're looking into. But it was an immediate lifetime ban. Just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on that and how you feel about players betting and they're allowed to bet on from what I understand on Korean baseball and stuff like that. But
just
betting
you can't bet on the sport that you playing, obviously.
betting
and I
and
think
betting on your own team to lose.
Right. That's insane. I think just a few things. Just starting with the first point. This is the tip of the iceberg. Like most of these guys are betting, not necessarily on themselves, but like I know plenty of people that are around players that like prize picks. They like doing these prop things, these high school guys. But I mean, I know people that'll call you and be like, hey, you saw my line on prize picks? I'm cashing that by the way. Oh, appreciate it. I call those free squares. But I think that the NBA is throwing rocks and hot in its hands to a certain extent. And I think the same thing with the NFL. You can't partner with all of these different sports books and put it in everybody's faces and continue to make sure that it's promoted during the game. And then when it actually starts to affect the game, even though this has already been a situation in the past when we talk about, referees and Tim Donaghy and the whole nine, I think it takes it a step further to help you kind of understand how deep it can truly get to an extent. But I also think the lifetime ban was necessary just to set a precedent, an example similar to Tyreek Evans or OJ Mayo, how they kind of wanted to come down hard. But I also think that this affects Michael a lot in a very negative light, especially, what I'm saying, even if he did give his brother the money, but just because as his brother knows, he's always been the person, even at Missouri, that was with his brother, not because he was the most talented, but it's because you're Michael Porter Jr.'s brother,
Right.
So when you bring that kind of bad publicity to a player, it affects everybody around the situation. It makes the family dynamic a little tougher. It makes everything, a lot more complicated. So I think the NBA definitely did the right thing, but I think there has to be certain precautions that you have to go by to make sure that these guys aren't doing this on the daily, because it's like those players for the Detroit Lions that were on DraftKings on the Lions Wi-Fi. Like, why would you do that? Like, it's like you got to be a lot smarter. But Jonte's smart. Like he's pretty smart. The way he's elusively been able to do this, because this was his first contract, his first opportunity in the NBA this year. So who knows over the last year and a half what he's been doing? You know what I'm saying? Or
right.
How it's been able to work for him. You know what I mean? So it's like it's so many factors that you have to take into account when talking about something like this. But I definitely think the NBA did the right thing. I'm just really curious to see where we are with this in 5 years. I wouldn't be surprised if you see 2 or 3 college guys get caught up in something, because I just think even at the end of the day, name, image, and likeness is a thing. You may get $5,000, $10,000 to come to college, but if somebody tells you or it hits you up and was like, hey man, we'll give you a $50,000 to $150,000, why would I not throw this mid-major game that doesn't even count towards my
a random Wednesday night game? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll make up for that in January and February. This is a December matchup at the Maui Invitational. I'll throw the hell out of this with $75,000 if that's all you guys need. So it's going to be very interesting to see where the game goes, for sure, that dynamic.
Awesome. All right, well, listen, let's dig into this. What do you have for your best bet for tonight?
No, 100%.
So we'll actually for tomorrow night. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We'll start with the New Orleans Sacramento game. I do like the over. With Zion not playing, I do think Sacramento will try to score as much as possible and see if New Orleans can match it. With Brandon Ingram having the situation he had last game where he was still kind of on a minutes restriction to an extent, but when you're in a play-in game, you would think even if you're at your 24th or 25th minute, head coach Willie Green will understand that you need to play 28 to possibly beat the Lakers when Zion is on a tear, how he was on a tear. So I really do believe that this over is a little low for these two teams, but I think that they definitely will more than likely cash it, and then I'll more than likely pair that with the Sacramento -1.5. I think they're hitting a stride, and I think they'll kind of build off that momentum against the Warriors, especially with those dynamic guards they have defensively. Davion, Keon Ellis, and D Fox doing their jobs. And I think if they can get Harrison Barnes or Keegan Murray to make enough threes, they'll handily win this game down in New Orleans.
Bruno agrees with you. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. So listen, I think the Sacramento team really lucked out. Sorry about that.
Good.
Uh, I think the Sacramento team really lucked out against Golden State here. They really put a beating on them. I mean, 118-94. I've liked D Fox all year. He's one of the few players I'll put player props on because when he goes off, you can kind of count on it. Malik Monk questionable for this game, which I think might impact him a little bit. But I think the bigger difference here is Zion. I can't fucking believe this dude. I just can't believe it. You guys were on a roll. I think if he would have been healthy, I think they were a real, not even a dark horse. I had a real shot at a title run this year if he would have stayed healthy. I just can't freaking believe it. Yeah, I am also on the over in this game. Right there with you. I got it at 210. That's my rhythm model has it at. I'll tell you my model that I have, which has been smashing, has this as a 115 to 111.6 victory for New Orleans. But I take out Zion. I can't include Zion injury in my model, so
Right.
I think he is good for a 4-point difference here because they're players that they have to step up aren't going to be able to step up like Zion could. Everyone's going to have to collectively do it, and I don't think they can do it against this Kings team that has been playing faster, playing harder, scoring more points. Sacramento offense right now averaging 116 and like a half, 116.58 points per game. New Orleans 114.96. They're shooting like 47% from the field. I mean, they're playing pretty good lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say New Orleans 8-2 against the spread. Its last 10 versus Sacramento. But in playoff situations, I said this before, since 2013, playing playoff situations, teams who have won have also covered in 81% of games. So if you're gonna take Sacramento here, just take them to win outright.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
100%.
at the -1, they'll cover the -1 too if they win, obviously. But I can't believe the spread's this low without Zion. I think it's kind of crazy.
However, it's probably just because you already talked about Malik. Malik is out for this game, but also Kevin Herter's out. So it's
Right.
hard to create a line because it's similar to this Philly Miami game where if New Orleans is at home, the momentum swinging their way. They can be up, at the end of the third quarter because Brandon Ingram and these guys and Herb Jones and these guys have just played enough defense and made enough threes to get them to that point, and then that might just be where they kind of run out of gas and just don't have enough left,
Yeah,
for
I mean,
Sacramento.
these two teams just played each other on April 11th too. I mean, New Orleans did win 135 to 123, which is why I'm shocked this total is so low. So I'll tell you, for this game, I did take the Kings Pelicans over 210 -150. It's okay. You don't pay the juice when you win. And then I took Kings first half. That's the other play I have for this one. And I'll tell you why. Just in case New Orleans finds a way to turn it on, it's going to be that they're coming back in the second half. I don't think without Zion, I think in the first half the Kings could get a substantial lead. We just saw them do it against Golden State, so I think at +1, it's -110. Sorry, for the first half. I think it's a great price, and I think the Kings can definitely get the first half cover at least.
100%. And I think even with the game you talked about the other day on the 11th, Brandon Ingram didn't play, but Zion played. So it's like I think it's hard for the books to kind of figure out because I think schematically you change the way you play the full game, because now it's not a lot of driving and kicking. It's more so you trying to figure out if Valanciunas can contain Sabonis. What can we do to shorten the lateral? It's really the lateral quickness of D Fox, and how are we going to really slow these guys down? And just to mention, the only other play I had in this game is Christian Dawkins to go over. I think they'll probably put his line maybe at 4 or maybe 5.5. I put over 7.5 being generous, but he didn't even play the last game. With Zion not playing, I think Willie will depend on some of these 3-point shooters to make a couple more threes. I don't know if Jose is questionable, but he's always hurt. Something's always hurt on Jose. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's sitting out tomorrow and Christian Dawkins picks up some of those minutes and is able to get 2 or 3 threes. I think that's a pretty easy cash especially if it's at that low number.
Yeah, love that. Like you said, some guys are going to have to step it up, and points are more points around if the Pelicans have a shot here. All right, next game up, Bulls versus Heat. What do you got?
So for the Bulls in the Heat game, I like the under. Similar to what we just talked about with Jimmy Butler being ruled out this morning. Teams schematically change. So I feel like this will be a very slow game that's decided between Bam and Vooch. And then it's going to come down to how Kobe and Tyler Hero play. So I like the under in this game. I do like Tyler Hero to score at least 20 points. They haven't put out the lines for the Heat players with Jimmy being hurt. But I would like him. I do like him to score at least 20 points. I think that his scoring will be a necessity if they're going to have a chance of winning this game. And then I also like Kobe White over 3.5 3-pointers. Career high last night. Play in. I think might be a play-in record with his 41. Played really well. I think he averaged 3.5 3-pointers against his Miami team this year. However, I do think there may be some more opportunities with a lot of guards on the perimeter trying to keep up with him, but also focusing a lot more on DeMar, just trying to contain him. And I think Kobe could find some openings to hit some corner threes and a couple of pull-up threes as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's been gunning lately, so I really like that. Jimmy's definitely out for this game, correct?
Yeah, he's out for a few weeks. He's out for a few weeks.
So I don't understand why the it's still off the board in a lot of places. Like even the places I get info from don't even have the game up because of it. So like I'm not understanding what the holdup is. I will say you can get it right now at Bovada. Bovada has it, and Bet Openly, which I also want to mention. If you don't use Bet Openly, you guys should check that out. Peer-to-peer betting, it's the way to go. You can make up like pretty much any kind of bet you want, and it'd be like me betting you, and then they hold the money in escrow, and then whoever wins, they give it to. It's pretty cool. But they have that available there as well. So make sure to check it out if you are waiting, if you don't want to wait for closer to game time, because I think this line will move.
Sure.
I took the Bulls plus 110 in this. It's now even, so money is moving in the right direction here. And I took the Bulls team total over 103.5. If they're going to win this game, I think that they're going to get over that. Even if they don't, I think this game goes over. We've seen Chicago lately. The last 5 games have all gone over. The winners of 4 out of the last 5. I get that they haven't been playing the toughest teams, but they had a good win at New York. They had a close win at Washington. They beat the crap out of Atlanta, putting up 131 on Atlanta. So I think that they've got the talent, and they're averaging
the best player on the court
half per game. Yeah, I mean they're proving that they're able to do it, and I think that they can. So I like the Bulls here to get it done.
100%. I think with DeMar DeRozan, they got the best player on the court. So oftentimes in these games, I think that's what you really decide. Like I would just ride it out with Debo. Jimmy was playing to be totally different, but I got to ride with Debo. I think he'll step up and want to definitely get this team into the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Bulls beat Miami in November 102-97. They also lost 118-100. They played a home and home back in November. That was the only time that they played this year, I believe. No,
one more time.
Yeah. Okay, so every single game that the Bulls have played versus Miami this year, they're 2-2. They've hit their team total over in each single one, and the game total would have hit over in each single one too.
Everyone,
and those were games that Jimmy was out too, because in the beginning of the year he was injured for a while, and I believe that's when they were playing. So we've seen actually these two teams play a lot so far this year. So I like the Bulls here a lot. So
100%. No, I'm definitely on the same page for that, for sure.
Cool. All right. Well, listen, I know that's all you had for today, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go ahead and recap our best bets.
Nah, no worries. So we'll start with the New Orleans and Sacramento over 212.5. Sacramento minus 1.5. Christian Dawkins to go over 5.5 points for the Pelicans. Chicago and Miami to go under 208.5. Kobe White to go over 3.5 3-pointers, and Tyler Hero to score at least 20 points.
Awesome. Where can people find you online, and what do you have going on?
Yeah, so follow me on Instagram at @1CamCarter. On Twitter at CamWriting_. I'm the sports writer over at Baller Alert. And I also have my own player management company called the Agglomerate Group. So hit me up if you have any questions or need any assistance with sports gambling or advertising or marketing, whatever it may be. I'm open. So yeah, just hit me up.
Yeah, Cam is literally hooked in. He is the guy. Or really, I can actually call this the NBA Betting Insiders now because we have one. So thank you, Cam. I'll say you guys my best bets, and we will get you out of here. I'm all over the Bulls plus 110, Bulls team total over 103.5, Kings Pelicans over 210, and Kings first half money line minus 110. You guys can find me here daily, of course, on the NBA and NHL Betting Insiders. A new episode of the MLS Betting Insiders is out now with me and Brad Jacobs covering the Week 10 MLS slate. And later today, we will be recording a new episode of Betting the Pitch Europe with me and Soccer Ash covering the weekend soccer slate. And make sure you guys tune in for In 5. It is TJ's daily betting show right here on the Pick Management Network. His best bets in 5 minutes or less every single day. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out Mark's model and his algorithm. There is a link to it right below. Make sure you guys check out Juice Reel and Rhythm, 2 tools you have to have if you're looking to take the next step in your betting career. And now you can find me at Last Word on Sports covering basketball for them, and on Give Me Sport as their new senior NFL writer. That'll do it for us at the NBA Betting Insiders. We will see you later.
On stepping, I'm a rockstar and Ramones. House dilemma, cribbo got too many rooms. Swish, I got shooters in the field, they running zones. When I swish, make some shake for me, stop playing. On stepping, I'm a rockstar and Ramones.